He was the quiet voice behind the sawdust for 20 years. Norm Abram was not just a furniture maker. In more than 21 seasons and around 300 episodes of the new Yankee Workshop, he established trust. Norm established himself as a mainstay in American homes with his plaid clothing, steady hands, and gentle advice. But something was subtly coming apart behind the calm workshop doors. Norm was dealing with something very personal. Even if he had created 235 projects and mentored millions through screens, rumors of weight reduction started to circulate. Viewers saw that he had a new appearance. Then, after watching television for 40 years, Norm just up and left. No comeback, no grand farewell. He received lifetime accolades from WGBH and This Old House, but they never addressed the true circumstances. Why did the most cherished carpenter in America disappear so quickly? And what was the tragic reality of his silent departure? Let's travel back in time to 1989. America's woodworking enthusiasts sit in front of their televisions, curious about what PBS has in store for them this time. They witness a man by the name of Norm Abrams enter a tiny workshop that has a large, sliding barn door, power tools, and carefully arranged wood. The new Yankee Workshop then comes to life. But hold on, who is Norm Abram? And how did he get here, putting on one of the most popular woodworking shows in America? We need to go back a little further to comprehend it. All the way back to October 3, 1949. Norm is born in Woonsocket, Rhode Island at that time. Unlike most children growing up in Milford, Massachusetts, he doesn't spend his days riding bikes or playing baseball. Instead, he goes everywhere with his carpenter father. Norm is already assisting with the installation of hardwood floors at the age of 9. Consider that. Norm is already using hammers and saws, whereas most children his age are only learning how to tie their shoes. By high school, he is working with his father on construction projects during the summers. At first, Norm decides that going to college would be a wonderful idea and enrolls at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, to study mechanical engineering. But he soon got bored with theory-heavy classes. He wants something tangible that he can construct himself. When Norm tries business administration, it too doesn't work. He is well aware of his passion for practical, hands-on labor. He so drops out of college right before he graduates, prepared to embark on his own journey. Now fast forward to 1976. Building a general store on Nantucket is Norm Abram's first significant job after starting his own business, Integrated Structures, Incorporated. It's quite successful. Norm will soon be overseeing large building projects throughout New England. He is young, gifted, and possesses abilities that others respect and adore. However, life is about to take a different turn for him. Norm is hired by TV producer Russell Morash in 1979 to construct a tiny workshop in his garden. Morash is not your typical customer. He is the creator of well-known television programs, such as Julia Child's culinary show, The French Chef. Russell observes Norm's meticulousness and organization in his work. He soon discovers that Norm has a unique quality that spectators would find entertaining. Soon after, Russell extends an invitation to Norm to participate in This Old House, his new home remodeling program. Norm begins making frequent appearances to teach homeowners how to fix and improve their homes. America develops feelings for him because to his steady demeanor, thorough directions, and useful counsel, Norm ends up becoming everyone's favorite handyman. Let's leap forward once more now. The year is 1989. Russell concludes that Norm merits his own program after 10 years of living in this ancient mansion. Thus, the brand new Yankee Workshop is created. It differs from this antique house in that woodworking pursuits are the main focus. Viewers are enthralled by Norm's ability to guide them through the process of making various items, including chairs, cabinets, tables, and even outside constructions like gazios and garden shelters. In each episode, Norm simplifies woodworking. He never hurries. In order for those watching at home to follow along, he clearly explains each step. At the start of every episode, he visits historical sites to show viewers the sources of his woodworking inspiration. After that, he goes back to his business and begins working, meticulously illustrating each step. The workshop itself gains notoriety very fast. Although it appears to be a comfortable barn, there is a fully furnished woodworking studio beyond that enormous sliding door. The business is precisely 936 square feet in size. Everything has a place inside: drills, saws, sanders, routers, and even a dedicated finishing room hidden in a corner. The rear bench, where Norm works on details and minor projects, is located on the well-known west wall. The radial arm saw, storage units, miter saw bench, and a secret corner with a computer and office area that viewers never see are all located on the south wall. A loft containing specialized jigs and sanding tools, together with a strong dust collector that keeps the air clean, is accessible by steps on the east wall. Essentials for woodworking are stacked high on the north wall. The band saw, jointer, planer, and clamps are all set up precisely. Norm's dependable table saw is the focal point of any project he constructs. Norm constructs more than just furniture every week. With viewers, he establishes friendships and trust. By the time the 20th season of the new Yankee Workshop rolls around, Norm has finished about 235 different woodworking projects. Excited to see what he will create next, fans pay close attention. A few viewers never even attempt woodworking. They simply take pleasure in observing Norm's abilities and composed demeanor. However, nobody notices what else is subtly taking on behind the scenes as the spectacle goes on year after year. Something devastating, something that will quickly alter their perception of Norm Abram. For viewers, Norm is consistently composed and steady. But when the cameras stop filming, what's actually happening? Norm is seen completing tasks, grinning serenely, and displaying yet another exquisite piece of furniture. However, beneath that warm grin, things are becoming difficult. You see him complete the classic projects, such as the comfortable mission-style sofa from 1990 or the striking cherry bathroom vanity from 1995. You like the familiarity of knowing that each episode begins and ends precisely as scheduled. After every performance, Norm carefully puts away his equipment, sets aside his furniture, shuts the door to the workshop, and leaves for dinner with his family. Although it feels ideal, reality is not like that. From 1989 to 2009, Norm produced at least 235 projects while filming season after season. Although it may seem simple to work in a wood shop every day, keep in mind that every job requires careful planning. Before the cameras even start rolling, Norm and his crew meticulously select each design, locate exact materials, and draft comprehensive instructions. Furthermore, these are not easy projects. Every episode requires excellence. The initiatives get more ambitious every year. Norm starts with simple things like blanket chests and bedroom tables. He's becoming bigger and bigger by the mid-90s. Complete garden sheds, boats built from the ground up, and gazios that require 2 episodes to complete. Projects like the intricate roll-top desk a huge task that typically takes 2 episodes to complete correctly, have evolved into specialized masterpieces by season 10 in 1998. Planning, pressure, and time away from his family increase with each endeavor. It's fantastic television for you. Norm takes each stride with composure and never appears hurried. But for Norm, the pace never slows as the years pass. The network wants additional programs every year because carpentry enthusiasts keep returning. They are doing something they have never done before by season 20 in 2008. A massive kitchen makeover in the house of producer Russell Morash, divided into 9 episodes that concentrate on installing and assembling cabinets. Episode after episode shows a gorgeous kitchen coming together, but you don't see the toll it takes in the background. Every episode requires precise measurements, meticulous cutting, and flawless finishes. Painstaking attention to detail is required for even seemingly easy tasks like installing kitchen cabinets. Making a mistake is not an option. In order to obtain the ideal photo, Norm frequently repeats processes while filming for hours on end. However, viewers never witness him perspiring. Norm seems composed and accurate. However, Norm's personal challenges increase along with the pressures. He's becoming older. By the time the sitcom reaches its final season in 2009, he will be 60 years old, having been born in 1949. 60 years old, hunched over workbenches, using heavy power tools, and standing on rough concrete floors for hours on end. Since his 20s, he has been doing this continuously. His body finds it difficult. The stiffness, aches, and pains are not seen on video. You don't see him resting his aching back after lifting heavy lumber or rubbing his sore wrists after hours of sanding. For Norm, carpentry is more than just a pastime off camera. It is actual physical labor. The emotional side comes next. After 20 years of filming, Norm's love of woodworking gradually turns into a career. Viewers eagerly anticipate each new show, week after week, year after year. However, Norm experiences more pressure, time away from his family, and responsibility with every new assignment. And for that very reason, WGBH Boston makes a startling announcement on October 16, 2009. There won't be any more episodes of the new Yankee Workshop. The popular woodworking program quietly ends after 21 amazing seasons. Fans everywhere, including you, are in disbelief. How is it possible for a show this popular to abruptly end? Norm later clarifies that money wasn't the issue at all, despite the first impression that funding might be the issue. Sponsors provided all of the show's funding, and it could have gone on for years. However, Norm decides it's time. He believes that he has achieved all of his goals. Above all, he wants to spend genuine time with his family. No more never-ending filming. No more incessant requests for fresh woodworking endeavors. Norm Abram retires from the spotlight after 21 years. It is heartbreaking for fans. You understand that Norm is more than just a carpenter. He is now your friend in the woodworking world. He's been there every weekend for 21 years, either to keep you company or to assist you with challenging tasks. Because viewers weren't prepared for it, the discreet cancellation has a significant impact. Since they never imagined that the show would simply end, they took Norm's composed demeanor for granted, but it does. Silently, suddenly. The next year, season 21 is made up completely of reruns from seasons 9 and 10, which are briefly presented by Norm following the 2008 premiere of the final new project, The Tap Table. There are no new woodworking projects, just the same old favorites followed by quiet. The workshop shuts up shop. No huge farewell episode, no announcements. Norm simply leaving the workshop one last time in a composed manner. Years after the show's 2009 conclusion, an unforeseen event occurs. Fans might continue to stream programs on this Old House Insider until September 5th, 2022. However, license modifications cause even those to vanish after that. Norm's woodworking heritage appears to be in danger of disappearing entirely. Then, on January 13, 2023, producer Russell Morash abruptly makes an appearance with shocking news in a brand new YouTube video. The new Yankee Workshop has returned with all of its episodes available for free internet viewing. Younger viewers who missed the first run become excited when Norm's projects unexpectedly acquire a new following. You may assume that Norm Abram is peacefully retiring from woodworking after he shuts the workshop door for the last time, but he never slows down entirely. Although he escapes the constant stress of filming, he still has a lot more in mind. Rather of taking a break, Norm takes on new initiatives that you might not anticipate. Norm delivers a significant lecture at Boston's North Bennett Street School in 2001. This school is well known for teaching craftsmanship and woodworking. By sharing his expertise, Norm inspires youngsters who aspire to follow in his footsteps and become carpenters. He also has a strong interest in educating the next generation. By encouraging young people to learn construction trades and preserving traditional carpentry, Norm supports the next generation's apprenticeship program. However, his impact extends far farther. At Old Sturbridge Village, a museum in Massachusetts that aims to show visitors how people lived centuries ago, Norm sits on the board of trustees. Being a part of this town allows Norm, who has a passion for history, to preserve historical customs and talents. In fact, Norm received the Ken Burns Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018 as a particular recognition for his dedication to history preservation. This award honors those who have a major influence on historical preservation and the arts. Speaking of honors, Norm has won numerous more during his career. Norm receives the American Academy of Ophthalmology's EyeSmart Distinguished Service Award on April 23, 2009. They honor him for his lifetime of work advocating for safety. Do you recall how Norm insists on donning safety glasses at the start of every performance? Because Norm takes eye safety seriously, viewers take his emphasis on preventing many injuries seriously. Here's yet another great honor. On June 18, 2022, Norm and the entire crew from This Old House win a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences at the 49th Annual Daytime Emmy Awards. Consider this. Over the years, This Old House has been nominated for 117 Emmys and has won 20 of them. Over the course of his more than 1,000 appearances on the show, Norm has renovated over 50 homes and established himself as a household figure. Here's another unexpected aspect about Norm, though. He is not limited to woodworking and home remodeling. In fact, Norm can appear in unexpected places. In the episode Normadas of the eccentric cartoon Freakazoid, he makes an appearance as himself and is abducted by the villain in order to construct a unique wooden weapon. Additionally, he makes 2 appearances on kid-friendly programs like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Between the Lions. Norm is so at ease in front of the camera that he even appears in humorous Foot Locker commercials called House of Hoops. Norm makes another entertaining appearance when he helps establish a lemonade stand during an episode of the PBS Kids game show Fetch with Ruff Ruffman. Additionally, he demonstrated his willingness to venture outside of his comfort zone in 2010 by appearing as a guest on the well-known baking show Ace of Cakes. Norm is always recognized for his cool-headed, amiable demeanor wherever he goes. Norm's plaid shirts gain notoriety. You hardly ever see him without one. The shirts are readily recognizable to fans, and even comedic shows like Home Improvement mock Norm's distinctive look. Do you recall Al Borland? Norm Abram himself served as the inspiration for that character who adores plaid shirts. But how does Norm behave when he's not on camera? In his personal life, Norm builds a stunning timber-framed colonial home in Carlisle, Massachusetts, where he lives with his wife, Elise, a gifted potter. Norm even penned a book titled Norm Abram's New House that describes his design decisions and the construction process. He later purchases another house in Rhode Island close to the coast with the intention of constructing a brand new woodworking shop there. He even thinks about taking up shipbuilding, which is a whole different kind of woodworking experience. Norm enjoys traveling new places and staying active. Along with fishing, boating, kaying, and art gallery visits, he and Elise love to cook. Norm continues to follow his passions, which keep him occupied and content, even after leaving his well-known TV shows. Norm Abram also writes 8 additional books about carpentry in addition to all of this. Fans and novices can learn from his years of experience with books like Measure Twice, Cut Once, Mostly Shaker from the New Yankee Workshop, and even a children's book called The New Yankee Workshop Kids Stuff. Additionally, he is a member of the editorial board of This Old House magazine, where he publishes the well-liked piece Norm's Notebook, which provides readers with useful woodworking advice each month. Nevertheless, all careers end eventually. Norm announces his retirement in May 2022, following an amazing 43 years as master carpenter on This Old House. Fans have strong feelings. Norm Abram is more than just a celebrity on television. For many years, he has been a part of people's lives. On October 3, 2022, PBS will broadcast a special homage to Norm's career called The House That Norm Built. Celebrities, friends, and co-workers celebrate what Norm did by sharing memories, tales, and videos. Additionally, Norm never publicly acknowledges any ailment, despite the fact that when people observe his weight reduction, suspicions concerning his health start to circulate. Rather, he quietly moves into retirement, concentrating on his interests, family, and slower pace. Although Norm Abram's story appears to be over by this point, there have always been surprises.